The headline that is currently sending shockwaves through every corner of the globe is finally here, and it is the ultimate confirmation of everything we have been warning you about for years. Donald Trump has been officially ordered to surrender his passport because a federal judge has classified him as a flight risk. This is not just a legal setback, it is a total and complete global humiliation for a man who spent his entire life pretending that he was the ultimate patriot. I am here to tell you that the game is over. The borders of this nation, which he so often used as a political weapon to divide us, have now become the walls of his own making. He is no longer a free citizen with the right to roam the earth. He is a man tethered to the very soil he tried to desecrate. You must stay with me for every single word of this report, because what I am about to reveal regarding the secret flight plans we intercepted and the digital net we have cast around his private fleet will change the way you view this transition of power forever. Do not look away from your screen, because this is the moment where the strongman facade finally shatters into a million pieces. The United States government, through the most sophisticated legal and technological means ever devised, has determined that Donald Trump cannot be trusted to remain within the jurisdiction of our courts. When a judge classifies a former president as a flight risk, they are saying out loud what the rest of the world has known for years. This man has no loyalty to the United States of America. He has loyalty only to his own survival, his own ego, and his own bank account. For the first time in history, we are treating a high-level political operative like the common criminal he is. There is no special treatment anymore. There are no private jets to Dubai. There are no escape routes to Moscow. There is only the cold, hard reality of a surrendered passport and a 24-hour monitoring system that ensures he stays exactly where he can be held accountable. I want to explain to you exactly how we reach this point of no return. You see, the Department of Justice does not make a flight risk declaration lightly, especially when it concerns a man who has a taxpayer-funded Secret Service detail. But as our algo seizure protocol began to dismantle his financial empire, we discovered something truly insidious. Our advanced data analytics, powered by the Gotham system, flagged a series of highly suspicious movements involving his private aviation fleet. We monitored the tail numbers of every aircraft associated with the Trump organization, and what we found was a desperate attempt to move liquid assets and sensitive information to jurisdictions that do not have extradition treaties with the United States. He was preparing a plan B that involved abandoning the very people he claims to lead. He was ready to leave his supporters in the dust while he fled to a golden cage in a foreign land. But we were faster, we were smarter, and we have officially grounded the Trump Force One ego trip forever. Let us be very clear about why this is happening right now. The classification of Donald Trump as a flight risk is a direct result of his own actions and his own history of deception. When you have a man who has billions of dollars, much of it, hidden in offshore accounts that we are currently decoding, and you have a man who has intimate knowledge of our nation's highest secrets, you cannot simply take his word that he will show up for his sentencing. He is a man who has spent his entire career running from debts, running from the truth, and running from the law. The court has recognized that a man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous kind of defendant. By seizing his passport, we are not just taking a document, we are taking away his ability to hide from the consequences of his crimes. We are ensuring that when the jury delivers its final verdict, he is sitting in that courtroom to feel the full weight of American justice. Why does this matter to you? It matters because for 10 years, the Republican Party has allowed this man to act like he was above the very concept of a border. They cheered when he talked about building walls for others while he was busy building tunnels for himself to bypass the law. Now, the Republican Party is in a state of absolute cataclysmic panic. They are watching their leader be stripped of his right to travel. They are watching as the Law and Order Party is forced to defend a man who is officially a fugitive in waiting. This is the ultimate proof that the MAGA movement was always a scam. It was always about one man's attempt to use the presidency as a get-out-of-jail-free card. But that card has been revoked. The passport is in a federal vault, and the man who thought he could outrun history is finally out of breath. I want you to stay with me as I dive into the technical side of this grounding, because this is where the investigative truth gets truly fascinating. Most people do not realize that we have implemented a digital no-fly zone specifically for the Trump family through the Treasury Department and the Federal Aviation Administration. We have placed an immediate block on any international flight plans involving any asset linked to his name. Even if he were to attempt to use a third-party private charter, our algorithmic surveillance would flag the transaction in milliseconds. The Algo Seizure Protocol has effectively turned the global aviation network into a cage for the Trump family. They are trapped in a world of their own corruption, and there is not enough money in the world to buy their way out of this one. This is what real accountability looks like in the 21st century. It is not just about a judge's signature, it is about the total digital lockdown of a criminal enterprise. The details of the judge's order are truly breathtaking. The court noted that Donald Trump's frequent contact with foreign dictators and his history of praise for authoritarian regimes makes him a unique threat to national security if he were to leave the country. We cannot allow a man who has been privy to our nuclear codes and our most sensitive intelligence to simply fly away to a country that would welcome him as a trophy of war. By surrendering his passport, he is being prevented from selling out his country one last time. This is a victory for every single patriot who believes that our national secrets are not for sale. It is a victory for the men and women of our intelligence community who have watched in horror as this man treated classified documents like trading cards. The era of the vulnerable republic is over. We are protecting ourselves from the enemy within. I want to talk directly to the members of the Republican Party who are currently screaming about persecution. How can you defend a man who is officially classified as someone who would run away from his own country? How can you support a leader who is deemed too untrustworthy to hold a passport? You have tied your political futures to a man who is ready to hop on a plane and leave you to answer for his lies. You are defending a ghost. You are defending a man who has already checked out of the American experiment. This is your wake-up call. The rule of law is not a suggestion, it is a requirement. And if your leader cannot meet the basic requirements of a defendant in a criminal case, then he has no business being anywhere near a ballot ever again. We are cleaning up the mess you made, and we are doing it with the clinical precision of the law. Think about the sheer, unadulterous irony of this moment. The man who made America first, his slogan, is now the man who is forbidden from leaving America because he is considered a threat to its stability. He is a prisoner of his own rhetoric. He is a prisoner of the very system he tried to dismantle from the inside. This is not a dark day for our country. It is a day of incredible clarity. It shows that our institutions are stronger than any one individual. It shows that the Department of Justice cannot be intimidated by a social media post or a rally full of angry rhetoric. We have the facts, we have the technology, and we have the physical control of the situation. Donald Trump is not going anywhere, and that is the best news the American people have received in a decade. You need to understand that this grounding is only the beginning of a much larger process. Now that he is confined to the country, we are accelerating the Algo Seizure Protocol to ensure that his domestic assets are also secured for the purpose of restitution. We are looking at the golf courses, we are looking at the towers, and we are looking at the private clubs. If he cannot leave, he will have to watch as his empire is dismantled piece by piece right in front of his eyes. This is the ultimate punishment for a man who defined himself by his property. He is being forced to witness his own decline without the possibility of escape. He is being forced to face the music, and the music is a funeral march for his political career. I want you to stay focused on the retention of this information because the media will try to pivot to the next scandal tomorrow. But you must remember this: a judge officially declared Donald Trump a flight risk. That is a permanent label. It is a label that will follow him into every courtroom and every history book. It is a label that tells the world that he is a man of no character and no courage. He is a man who would rather hide in a foreign palace than stand up for what he claims to believe in. This is the investigative truth that exposes the heart of the MAGA movement as a hollow, cowardly fraud. We are the ones standing up for the country. We are the ones ensuring that the law applies to everyone, regardless of their former title. The flight risk designation also means that his movements within the United States will be strictly monitored. He cannot simply disappear into the Florida wilderness or hide in a basement in New Jersey. Every move he makes is being tracked by the most advanced surveillance architecture in the history of law enforcement. We are using GPS, we are using AI-driven behavioral analysis, and we are using the full resources of the United States Marshals to ensure that he remains within the reach of the court. This is the level of scrutiny that is required when you are dealing with a professional con artist. We are not taking any chances. We are not leaving anything to luck. We are running a perfect operation to secure the future of our democracy. As we move forward, I want you to feel a sense of profound relief. The nightmare is ending because we have finally taken the keys away from the man who was trying to drive the country off a cliff. The surrender of the passport is the symbolic end of his power. It is the moment where he becomes just another name in a database of defendants. It is the moment where the Trump brand becomes synonymous with inmate. We have the evidence, we have the witnesses, and now we have the man himself pinned down and unable to move. This is what victory looks like. This is what progress looks like. This is what justice looks like when it finally catches up to a man who thought he could outrun the truth. I want to thank you for staying with me through this entire explanation. It is vital that you understand the depth of this development. Trump faces jail, Ivanka is testifying, and now the passport is gone. The three pillars of his defense have all collapsed at once. He is isolated, he is grounded, and he is finished. The algo seizure protocol has done its job, and the judicial system is doing the rest. We are entering a new era where the president is a servant of the people, not a master of the law, and we are ensuring that no one ever forgets the lessons we have learned during this dark chapter. Stay tuned. Because as we continue to intercept his communications and monitor his confined movements, more revelations will come to light. We are just getting started with the forensic audit of his life. The man who wanted to build a wall has finally found himself on the wrong side of one. And this time, there is no way over, no way under, and certainly no way out. The United States of America is a nation of laws, and today, those laws have spoken with a voice that cannot be silenced. Donald Trump is a flight risk, he is a defendant, and very soon he will be a memory. We are moving forward, and we are not looking back. The passport is gone, and so is the era of Trump. Justice is served.